There are roughly 10 quintillion insects on Earth right now. That's a 10, followed by 18 zeros. And almost none of them are doing anything you'd notice. Now imagine they all vanish. Every ant, every bee, every beetle, every fly, gone overnight. No bodies, no trace, just absence. You'd probably feel relieved for about 3 days. Then the world starts breaking. Here is what actually happens, and here is the exact timeline. Week 1. The most immediate effect isn't food, it's silence. No buzzing, no chirping crickets at night. But underneath that quiet, something critical has already stopped. Pollination. About 75% of flowering plant species on Earth depend on insects, primarily bees, to reproduce. Without them, those plants stop setting fruit and seed from the moment insects vanish. Week 2. Farmers start noticing. Fruit trees are flowering, but nothing is forming. Strawberry fields, apple orchards, almond groves, all of them dependent on insect pollination, are producing nothing. Globally, about 1/3 of all food that humans eat comes from insect-pollinated crops. That's not going wrong yet. But the clock has started. Week 4. The food chain effects begin rippling upward. Birds that eat insects, and there are roughly 1 trillion of them, are already struggling. Insectivorous birds lose their primary food source immediately. Freshwater fish that feed on aquatic insects begin declining. Bats, which consume billions of insects every night, are starving. The animals that ate insects are now competing for whatever else remains. Month 3. This is the timeline that scientists actually use. Agricultural systems that depend on insect pollination begin producing critically low yields. The crops most affected first: almonds, 100% dependent on bees; blueberries, 90% dependent; cucumbers, melons, squash, all heavily dependent. These aren't luxury foods. They're core global nutrition sources. Prices begin spiking within 90 days of insect disappearance. Month 6. Decomposition is failing. Insects, particularly beetles and flies, are nature's recycling system. They break down dead organic matter, returning nutrients to the soil. Without them, dead animals and plant matter begin accumulating. Soil quality starts declining. Crops that don't need insect pollination, grains like wheat and rice, still grow, but their soil is becoming less fertile with every cycle. Year 1. Large-scale ecosystem collapse has begun. Wetland ecosystems, which depend almost entirely on insect larvae as a food base, are dying. Fresh water systems are collapsing. Rivers that once teemed with fish are becoming silent. And the forests, which depended on insects for pollination and decomposition, are beginning to fail at regeneration. Year 2 to 5. Global food production has fallen by roughly 30 to 40% for insect-dependent crops. Famine conditions are emerging in regions that depended on those crops. Livestock that fed on insect-rich pasture are declining. The human population, which grew to 8 billion, partly because insect pollination made agriculture so productive, is facing a food system it was never designed to run without insects. Year 10. Ecosystems without insects are fundamentally different. Many flowering plant species have gone locally extinct. They couldn't reproduce without pollinators. Forests are simpler. Rivers are quieter. The food web has reorganized around wind-pollinated plants, grasses, conifers, grains. Humanity survives, but on a vastly simpler, less nutritious, less stable food system than the one insects built over 400 million years. Actually looks like not immediate catastrophe, but a slow, compounding unraveling. Week 1. Pollination stops. Month 3. Food prices spike. Year 1. Ecosystems begin failing. Year 10. The world is fundamentally different. The insects were always there. We just never noticed them holding everything together, which raises the question that should actually worry you, because insects aren't disappearing overnight. They're disappearing gradually. Studies suggest insect populations have declined by up to 75% in some regions over the last 30 years. We are already part of this timeline, probably further along than we think. New video every 2 days. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.